We are live. Hi, everybody. Today we're live with Mandy.
Hello. What's up, party
Ooh,
people?
I didn't get a chance to put out a little Instagram story that I normally put out saying that I'm going live, but maybe my hubby can set that up for me. I don't know. And put up the link so people can join because that's usually how I get people to join. But I have a surprise. I have an emotional support chapstick.
Yes, me too. Oh my gosh, I have so many. You should see my desk is covered with lip gloss.
It's so cute. Last time I saw you do that, I was like, that's really cute. If I go live with her, I'm going to make sure I bring mine.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And we've been talking about going live. I mean, we should do this more often, but it's so busy
Yeah.
when you're going in your own deep dives and doing all your own stuff.
Yeah.
And it's always so nice to like talk to other creators, especially I
Yeah.
feel like we're on the same wavelength of the deep dives and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. I'm so glad we could finally do it.
Me too.
Let's see. Ooh, okay. I think I just got a link. Let me put it up so it'll help people join. Copy. Oops. Do you do that too? Like, do you tell people or do you have like a regular time that you go
I
live?
usually just put it up like, hey, going live soon or tomorrow, whatever, give a little bit of notice, or sometimes I'll just wing it and surprise
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. I know. I'm still new to this. You're like a pro. You
No
are the pro. No?
way.
How long have you been doing these?
I started YouTube in February of this year, and
Nice.
I was doing TikTok, I think since like 2021,
Okay.
but really following this case and doing long format content and like bringing it to everyone like seriously in
Yeah.
like February of this year.
Okay.
And then December and January I was on TikTok, and because I'm Canadian, we don't get paid over there for our
Right.
views. And a lot of people were
Right.
like, go to YouTube because so many people are already clipping your videos. You're already on YouTube.
Yes.
So just start your own show there. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. And then through a lot of
Crazy.
failure and attempts, and you kind of adjust to it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm happy I did.
Yeah, you're great on there. I love it. I watch your YouTubes. I'm subscribed.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, but I wanted to say, since we were just talking about Canada and TikTok and YouTube, I guess Be Better moved from Canada to New York.
Yes.
And so his account was banned as of, I noticed it last night. I got up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom, and it was like 2:24 a.m. when I checked, and his account was banned. I was like, oh no, they got to him. And then this morning, I didn't even have time to post about it until later in the morning. Everybody was messaging, yeah, the account is banned, the account is banned. And then there were people commenting things like, oh, he moved to New York and he made that new account because he wants to get paid on TikTok, and he posted that whole thing to grow his account quickly and for clout and this and that. And I'm like, I feel like he doesn't need to do that. Regardless, he would have grown. Do you know what I mean? Don't you
Yeah,
think?
I think that's a little strange. People will always try to find loopholes, I think, to justify people's actions. I think Be Better can grow any account he starts, his deep dives and his, I
Yeah.
mean, he's very brilliant. I mean, he has, when he used to do the thing with the frame and then
Yeah,
check
I
it,
love
like
it. Yeah.
and he's the only one that does like downfall of people, and it's always right. Like I rarely have ever seen him get it wrong. So he
Yeah.
would have had no problem growing a new account, and I don't even think he had to do that. He probably could have just changed his like VPN or whatever they're called.
Right?
Was
Yeah.
it his Marcos account, like his new
The
account,
Marcos. The
got
Marcos account
banned?
is banned. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I feel
Yeah.
in just from following this case and seeing um, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds bots, it probably is a lot of people reported it. It probably got mass reported.
I think
Um,
so.
yeah,
And
and
for sure their PR reported it, right? Don't you think?
yeah,
They're all
And
over that.
they have that like Shapiro dude, who I haven't covered in a long time. I think a lot of us in the community call him B613 for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And now I wouldn't get anything past that guy to get videos taken down or accounts banned because he's pretty up there with a lot of other important people, but they have a lot
Yes,
of power.
for
And
sure.
yeah, silencing people is what he's really good at. I mean, when he worked for Airbnb, he was able to silence survivors and victims of really horrible things that happened to them. So he's really good at silencing people. And wow, I didn't know it got banned. And now I'm
Yeah,
like, that's crazy that they're
it's
trying to
crazy.
silence him.
It's
The timing
crazy.
of it is very strange. The timing is very strange, I'll
Very
say,
strange.
for him to drop the video, the stuff Blake Lively was crashing out about on her Instagram, and now the Epstein files and her name is in it. I'm
It's
just like,
wild.
and her relationship with Salma Hayek, who's married to the guy from Balenciaga.
Yep.
There's
The dots
just,
are dotting.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah. The
It's
math is
crazy.
mathing on this one.
Yeah.
Big time. Like there's not really a lot of dots that lead you astray. It's kind of like cookie cutter when you look at
Yeah.
the people involved.
Yeah. And there are some people who are like, don't say these things. It's so accusatory. I'm like, we're not even saying it. It's like literally being presented in our faces. And then we're just asking questions like, why is she posting the same time he posted? And then without a crystal ball, found that letter to from Peggy Siegel. Oh my God, last night I went down, I haven't posted about it yet, but I went down a rabbit hole looking up Peggy Siegel and everyone that's listed in that letter. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to make a deep dive kind of thing later. Basically, in summary, every single person, pretty much every single person, like 99% of the people who are signed off on the bottom next to Blake Lively's name have a scandal attached to them. Yeah.
Wow.
It is like I was just up. I was just like, my husband was like, "Are you gonna sleep? Take off your glasses." And I'm like, "I'm just reading about people." And he's like, "Why?" And then I told him, and he's like, "Wow." And I kept reading to him, and he fell asleep. But I was fascinated. Like I went through every single person, and it's a lot to talk about. But there were all sorts of. I mean, the obvious ones are obviously like Weinstein and let me see who else was on there. Oh, I have like so many screenshots of like scandals I found that I'm gonna talk about, but let's see.
It's
Sorry,
just
it's
interesting
taking
that
me.
all these people are all tied together. Like it's not
Yeah,
hard to
and
really piece them all together, and they're shady. I mean, if
they're shady.
anything, unethical and immoral for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure. And that's what Be Better, or I keep calling him Be Better, Markos was referring to. Like the but the weird thing is that everyone on the list, they're older at the time. So this was in 2013. So Blake was like 25, 26 at the time. But everyone on that kind of list, when I looked them up, they were way older than her, very much more established, all pretty wealthy or very well connected. And it's just odd that she's lumped in there, you know?
mhm.
It's so weird. Like I know that Peggy Siegel did a lot of she did at least two premiere parties for she did the one for Savages as well as Age of Adeline, and she threw the premiere parties for them. But like the that's just like someone throwing you a party, a publicist. That doesn't make you
Mhm.
BFFs with that person. Like, why be included in this group? It's just bizarre to me.
It's very strange. I think a lot of things are gonna come out. I don't know. I feel like that's why Blake Lively right now, today, she's asking for an extension, like 3-week extension,
Mhm.
for any kind of reply to sealing or unsealing and for the reply of the summary judgment. I think because when things start getting unsealed, a lot of more people are going to have their names researched and combed through. And a lot of these people, I think, have many skeletons in their closet.
Yeah.
Savages was also a problematic set for Selma Hayek and Blake Lively, as well as The Age of Adeline. Both of those sets were really problematic with Blake Lively. So I just find it very interesting that now the same woman, is being brought in for the third time. And this set was obviously very problematic with Blake Lively as well. So
Yeah.
it's just like a continuation of her poor, poor behavior. And she's surrounded by people who are, kind of monsters themselves.
Including her husband. Now
Yeah.
he's starting to be mentioned again in the docket, right? Like, so what's going on there? Can you tell us?
Yeah. So the day after summary judgment got filed, I think it was like the day after, Ryan Reynolds re-entered the court docket
Yeah.
to ask for his sanctions that he filed in May. And they
Okay.
wanted to like supplement their sanctions order. So today, Brian Freeman came out and was basically like, just said, well, the case wasn't frivolous at all. And after discovery, we've actually found out that Ryan Reynolds was involved a lot more in defamation and extorting Justin Baldoni, and then gave all of these redactions.
Oh my God.
So we'll see if we ever get to see exactly the extent. And it says if the judge does grant the order for Blake and Ryan, then they would
Okay.
like to be granted their chance to really fight back on the order. So we'll see.
Yikes. Was there something in there about there being written proof by Ryan? I thought I saw Ken's
Yeah.
post about that, but I didn't get to listen to it because I was working. But what is it? Is it saying that like, basically he's admitting to something in written form?
Yeah, that there was a document produced by Lively that reflects that Reynolds, and then it's redacted. And then it
Okay.
says that Reynolds also produced documents and in this action pursuant to a subpoena. And those documents show that among other things, Reynolds, and then it's a huge redaction, like
Redaction.
a massive paragraph. So
Wow.
he himself have produced documents to show that. I wonder if any of this has to do with Van Zandt, or if it
Mhm.
just has to do with probably communications, right, between Lively and Reynolds, or Leslie Sloan and Reynolds. It does say that this is coming from Brian Freeman's declaration, and that
Mhm.
Ryan Reynolds told somebody, and then it's again redacted. So
And when was
yeah,
the last time Brian Friedman came out and like put out his own, right? This is a big deal, I think,
big
right?
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I haven't seen like a motion or a letter or a reply directly from Brian Freeman
Yeah.
in a long time. It's usually Kevin or Aline, or now we have the Shapiro working on it.
Yeah.
So it must be a pretty serious thing for Brian Freeman to be like, no, 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 no. This isn't. And
Oh
I
my gosh.
like, as soon as Ryan Reynolds re-entered the court docket, I was like, haven't you had enough after all of the monstrous things that we just found out about you?
Yeah.
All these text messages that Justin Baldoni just gave us, literally saying how you treated him, berated him, bullied him for 5 to 6 hours, how you screamed at it in pre production, all of the monstrous stuff that Blake Lively did. Haven't you guys had enough? Like, how much more are you willing to fight this thing? Like, you're done. Like, it's a wrap, at least for most of the public that have been following this case. Like, you guys were out of control, mean bullies,
Yeah.
and you're still looking for more evidence to come out against you. Like, if it
Yeah.
was me, I would just be telling my lawyers, how are we wrapping this up? Like, how are we?
I
I don't want
know.
anything else to come out, Let's wrap this up.
But I hate to say this, but I think all this, some of the fake news that they put out in the media, like the whole recently how what they said about Justin Baldoni, and like people who are not regularly following believe it. They
Yeah.
do. They do. Like I recently, I was, one of my clients. She works closely. I don't know if she wants me to say it, but like she works closely with Taylor Swift's team. Her client works closely with Taylor Swift. And like we were talking about it while I was doing her hair, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I heard that about Justin Baldoni." I'm like, "It's not true. It's fake news." She's like, "Really?" She had no idea, and I was like, "Yeah, really." And she was like, "But I saw it everywhere. I saw it in the headlines." And I'm like, no, 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 you can't always believe that because it's put out by the other side. Like their PR is working overtime to make sure they still look somewhat okay. But it was crazy to me because she's in the industry and she didn't even know. Or she just blindly was like read it a few times in different headlines and just assumed it was true.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh, that's
it's
so wild. But
it's
it does
wild.
seem like they are being fed like little things, and then completely every news station regurgitates the exact
Yeah,
same headline without looking
yeah,
into it. It's
yeah,
so dangerous how things can just spread like wildfire, even though they're not true.
yeah.
And the hypocrisy of Lively and Reynolds still smearing Wayfair and Baldoni while trying to fight a smear campaign
Yeah.
is like,
I know.
what? Like Brian
Yeah.
Freeman literally had to go on TMZ, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and be like,
Yes.
you guys got it wrong. Everyone got it wrong. And then still,
Mhm,
they're still getting it wrong even after that. And it's
mhm.
like, how much more do people have to do to say that, hey, mainstream media, you're literally publishing misinformation all over the
Right.
place?
Mhm. And a part of me is like, are they just being lazy? Are they being maybe paid? Is it both? Like, I don't
Yeah, there's
know,
some
but it's
publications like the Hollywood Reporter and stuff that have ties
mhm,
to Ari Emanuel and WME.
mhm,
So those ones, of
mhm.
course, like if Lively loses, that's a huge loss for Ari Emanuel, which then is a huge loss for all of his networks and publishing
Yeah.
companies. But then there's other ones where I'm like People and TMZ, and I'm
Mhm.
like, how much are they paying you guys to write this stuff? Because it's literally lies. And they have lawyers that work there, and then there's just like
Yeah.
us sleuths
Yeah.
who know that
Yeah.
they're lies because we read the actual documents. It's like, don't you have
Yeah.
lawyers who can just read the documents? I know it takes a lot of time. It's literally a full-time
Mhm.
job, I think, for all of us, but it's like you
Yeah.
have people that are supposed to be able to do it.
I mean, it's just a clickbait industry, I think. Like they're like, how many clicks can we get today? Should we even read this over? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really,
I mean,
really think,
TMZ did say that on their interview with Brian Freeman. Oh,
yes,
people just want like they admitted to it. You just want the clicks,
yeah,
you just want the headlines. It's like,
yeah.
okay, but at what cost to your like morality and
No,
journalist
they don't care.
integrity?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That
gone.
they'll sometimes put something up and within 2 hours later put the exact opposite thing up.
Yeah,
You're like, "What? What? How where'd this come from?" It's so bizarre.
it's so
Um,
bizarre. Actually, Brian Freeman did say today, where was it? It was really good. He said that let me find it because he talks about PR and how he said this was for PR. Oh yeah, it says right here. Um, just days after the Wayfair party's summary judgment motion, lively reliance on Sarah's and Abels's answer to deposition questions about the basis of their legal claims, coupled with the letter's odd timing, reflects an apparent effort to reassert control over the news media cycle.
that's
And
on
that's what everyone was kind of saying, like this has to be PR because for the next like week it's all going to be about the summary judgment.
yeah,
And it was so bizarre that that's what they like would file the next day.
yeah,
It's like, what is, I
yeah.
mean,
It's
sanctions,
a
like she
crazy
can't file
thing.
subpoenas anymore, so I guess she's moved on to
Yes,
sanctions.
yeah, yeah. And then
And
did
you
you
were
see
subpoenaed, right? Through
I was
your social
subpoenaed.
media was subpoenaed. It's so
Yeah,
crazy.
I didn't know until like 2 weeks after everybody because I just didn't think I would be one of them. I don't know, but looking back, I'm like, "Oh, they don't like me. They really didn't like the things I was saying." But it's interesting. I feel like they at first I was like, "This is so random, the people they chose," but I think at some point we'll never know what their rhyme or reason is, but there is some rhyme or reason with how they did it. I don't know. I don't
What
know.
frightens me is that more than 80% of the creators don't even know if they were subpoenaed
Yeah,
because it was confirmed by both attorneys on each side that it was more than 107 people, but
yeah.
only about 20 people got notified that we know of. So, like for me, I never got an official subpoena, and I emailed Google and TikTok to try to see, like,
If
hey,
there
just
was
can you
anything.
check? And with my, I was specifically worried about my YouTube because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want this going
Yeah.
out because people
Yeah.
trust your sources, and
Yeah.
I just don't want to be involved in any of that, especially what they were asking for. Like, you shouldn't have my banking information, you shouldn't
Yeah.
have my credit card information,
Yeah.
and I don't want to have to give you like my draft notes, my draft emails. I mean,
Yeah.
I have notes on notes on notes of research that I've done. So handing that over is just insane, but I never got a
Yeah.
reply back from any of the companies. So I
That's
don't
so
even know
interesting.
if it got quashed or if they gave them my user information. Like, I don't know.
Wow. But I feel like if they gave it, you would have gotten something because
Yeah, I would hope
because
so.
yeah, I mean, Google was pretty good about it because when I got the subpoena, it was in my email, and then when Blake and the team, her legal team withdrew it, I got another email saying that.
Oh,
I was
good.
like, okay, okay, good, but I don't feel like dealing with this. But it was like such a weird time, and like a bunch of us creators like kind of connected, and we were like exchanging notes and trying to figure out what to do. It was like bizarre. It was like, am I in the
It's
Twilight Zone? Is this really happening? Like,
It's so weird.
so weird.
It's been
Do you,
such a bizarre case. The
yeah.
whole
Do you feel like her attorneys are like milking it for everything it's worth?
100%. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many parallels also between like the Drake and Blake case. And I made this like way back in like March or February. I was like, they're representing Drake and Blake, and both of them don't really
Yeah.
have, like, this is all new stuff that they're fighting for. So either the law firm like Manette, Phelps and Phillips is trying
Mhm.
to rewrite law, and they're going to be like
Yeah.
this law firm that like in the future wants to rewrite laws on media and this kind of stuff, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make like,
It
or they
doesn't. I
didn't
know.
have all the information at the time, and now that they've been given all the information, it's like a client is still like, no, we're fighting, like we've come too far, because
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense what they're like.
Yeah.
It's a losing case.
I think there'll definitely be laws that they're going to try. Like, I know, like in California, we have Newsom trying to pass. Like, are you familiar with Spencer Pratt? No.
Like
Okay.
the creator,
So
like the
Spencer Pratt was part of. He was in a reality show, and then him and his wife, and like
did he
he
lose
was
his house in the
yes,
fires and then
politics.
start? Okay, yes, yes, I know who
And
that is.
he's been like screaming and yelling, like in state politics here. He's been talking about Gavin Newsom and the mayor here, and like he's been exposing a lot of stuff about them. And then all of a sudden, like a couple months ago, he was saying that they're trying to pass something where if a content creator is speaking and can cause harm in some way. I don't want to say it incorrectly, but it was something along the lines of like they want to pass this thing where if you're as a content creator, they can come after you and fine you up to $1 million. Talk about shutting people up. Yeah.
What?
So if it's happening in California and the Blake and Drake thing, like the same, like it's just weird. There's
Hmm.
definitely something that they're going to try to do because the more you think about social media and like all these regular people coming out and sleuthing and finding things, like they can't control it. They
It
can't.
can't.
They
That's the
have to
thing.
find a way to control it.
We're not controlled, and I
Yeah.
think that's where Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively went wrong in August. They thought, we'll just put out a bunch of bad PR, we'll
Mhm.
feed the new mainstream media a bunch of bad shit about Justin Baldoni and Wayfair, right? Because all the
Mhm.
headlines coming out was definitely a direct attack on on Justin Baldoni. And then we'll go on the premiere and we'll be the shiny little thing that everyone sees, toppled with all the bad stories that we put in PR, and we win. Everyone will love Blake Lively. Our products will take off. We'll make tons of money, and then we'll have to push Wayfair out because everyone will love us. We'll get our hands on the next movie,
Yeah.
and because we can't be controlled, and we're like now, thankfully, not just following what is fed to us and researching things. it's like people can't be controlled and we can't be silenced.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're used to that type of media, and it backfired so hard on them.
Hard.
And that's very interesting. I didn't know that they
Yeah.
were trying to do it. But there's also so much strict laws against defamation, especially if it's to a person in the public eye already, so celebrity, politician, musician.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we're just talking about things that are readily accessible to us on the internet,
And we're asking questions, right?
is that really defamation, or are we
I
just
don't
talking
think
about how
so.
shitty you are as a person? You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
you don't want people to know that you're not a good person, don't do bad things,
Bad
you
things.
know?
Yeah.
But
I
I
know.
feel like that's what Manette, Phelps, and Phillips are doing just by their track history and the cases that they're taking now. I feel like they're going to probably move into the space of trying to change litigation when it comes to defamation, when it comes to online astroturfing and smearing, because the cases are just too big and such loser cases, in my opinion. Like, when you
Yeah.
look at the facts and the evidence,
Yeah.
that it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
No, it
why
doesn't
someone would
make
take
any
this
sense.
on. And
Yeah,
the
they're
money
just
they're
gonna try and
making. I mean,
turn it into money.
I heard a lawyer say that their attorney fees now are probably over 50 to $100 million. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's wild. Did you see some of the new headlines that came out regarding, like, with the one about Blake's co-stars kissing her? So pathetic. I was like,
Come
really?
on.
Come on now.
Come on. This reminds me of the No Teeth Lively, when those text
Mhm.
messages were coming out and she was talking about being a ball buster and a no teeth. And then sadly, Michelle Trachtenberg passed, and Blake Lively
Yeah.
hadn't been on social media in like almost 2 months, I think. And
Mhm.
then all of that SEO was coming out about her lips and, the ball
Yeah.
busting. And then she puts out a tweet saying that, almost putting in those little like trigger words
Yeah.
that people were searching for. And then when you Google Blake Lively, it only had to do with
Blake.
that post.
Yeah.
This is the same thing. I mean, beyond the
Yeah.
improvised kiss that she did, and
Yeah.
then Justin Baldoni literally saying, I don't want to kiss this woman.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Can
thank
you
you.
imagine? Oh my
Um, Now they're doing an article about how she loves kissing. It's just a regular day. It's not just
God.
a regular day on set, girl. Like, you
With her
look
minty
at,
fresh breath.
and
Yeah.
especially if it was a regular day on set, you wouldn't have said that he lingered on a kiss or that he improvised a kiss. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay.
The other story that came out, again, same time as her Instagram story with the Covenant House, as well as BeeBetter's thing that popped up. The next day, a story came out about Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively talking about their children and parenting.
Oh, I saw
Children,
that. What is it?
children keyword.
Privacy. Oh, they take like there's like three things about it, like privacy and embracing, or I don't know, how they deal with
So much.
parenting.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. 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 I'm like, come on, really? We're talking about the guy who had his daughter in a movie, rehearsing 700 times or however many times it was, saying that those inappropriate, disgusting lines about Wolverine's, what part.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
like, come
forced
on.
her in that movie, because originally, and this is from Ryan's own mouth,
Nah. Yeah.
she said she didn't want to be in it. She doesn't want to say those lines. And
Mm-hmm.
he said, okay, well, fine. I'll cast another girl and she'll do it better. She'll do it better. And then, of course, the daughter's gonna be like, no, 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 I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then they got her
So
to do it
sad.
up to 500 different
Yeah.
times. And that's fine for a kid to
Wow.
say those lines 500 times. But Justin Baldoni, working with a professional actor like Blake Lively, can't do a scene so many times, or Blake Lively thinks they recorded the scene too many times.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how do you know? Maybe they didn't get the shot because you can't be directed, and they need to keep doing it over and over because you're not a good actor. It's
Yeah.
like, you have
Yeah.
no idea why the director wants to redo the shot. It's just so
Yeah.
nuts.
Do you know if I don't know if you're familiar with Cassidy O'Connell? Uh,
Yeah,
I was
Cassidy's
listening
great.
Yeah, I was listening to her latest YouTube video last night, and she was talking about the birthing video and all that, and how they're completely ignoring all these protections that we have in the United States based on, there's a bunch of stuff she pointed out, and she does such a good job, and I learned so much listening to that video. Like, somebody prompted me to listen to it on my own YouTube thing, live thing I did yesterday, and I was like, I'm going to listen to this tonight. And I listened to it like falling asleep. I woke up in the morning, finished it, and I was like, oh my god, there's so much. Like Judge Lyman did not put in the work, as she calls it, to give any case like examples of past cases that like he's basing this order on. Like, what is he basing it on? Just the fact that Blake Lively is asking for it because of her claims. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only, there's nothing else really that he's giving his rhyme or reason for ordering it. And why so late? How are you allowing that? Like, have you heard Cassidy O'Connell's
I
YouTube
haven't
yet?
watched this one yet, but
It's
I've
so good.
seen like people commenting too online like, "Oh, go watch it," because I'm that's the one I'm gonna watch tonight because I really want to
Yeah.
see your explanation. I think I watched your recap TikTok today though of it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know what you're
I
talking
I
about.
tried. I tried. I was like, "Am I saying this correctly, Cassidy? Like, somebody correct me if I'm saying anything incorrectly." But like, she pointed out so many things, and I really hope. I don't know. Do you think Natasha's gonna lawyer up and like try to?
I have a lot of theories on this. In
Okay.
particular, I do think it's sort of weird because Natasha Heath is a non-party. And I
Hmm.
remember when it had to do with Taylor Swift and extending the deposition, and the judge denied that because Taylor Swift is a non-party, so that would be an unfair advantage and it would bring her in and all of that ruling. And then also with Danny Greenberg, I think they were fighting over who gets to depose first and if it starts at 8 a.m. or whatever. And he again ordered the same thing. He was in favor of Lively's motion because Danny Greenberg is a non-party. So, they'll start at 8. They don't want to like stress him out too much, basically, because he's a
Yeah.
non-party. Well, hello, Natasha Heath is a freaking non-party, and you want her entire birth, all of her birthing videos, and it doesn't even explain if it's just of that one child. I think they have 2 children. So it's like, it's just so gross. Like, what happened to like my body, my choice?
Yeah.
It's my body. I gave birth. I should
Yeah.
have to decide whether or not I want to give all of this video away to a woman who's been terrorizing my family since December of 2022. And
Yeah.
she's already broken so many PIIs, like she's given out so many people's information. I do not trust them with anything. Like that's
Same.
why Jed Wallace was fighting for his client list. They
Yeah.
got his entire client list for years. They've got some of their information all the way back until like 2018. Like, why do you need that information? I just feel like it's just I would not trust her with any of my anything. Like,
Yeah.
I think that in my opinion, I feel like she didn't think that Jamie Heath was going to fight this because of the
Yeah.
way that they protect their mothers and their wives and the sanctity of motherhood. So I
Mm.
feel like I don't think she wanted the birthing video. I think what she wanted was him to be silenced. And
Yeah.
if he didn't oppose this, the judge would have then had to favor with Lively because there's no opposition. And therefore, Jamie Heath wouldn't be able to testify about it. And I think that's what she was going for. Because at the end of the day, a birthing video is a birthing video. Even if you pull the most grotesque or
Yeah.
pornographic still you can, which is like, there's a baby. Like, what are we
I
like? At the end of the day, it's
know.
still a birthing video, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it had anything to do with the birthing video. I feel like either
Yeah.
it was one to take another dig yet again at Natasha Heath because she's been doing it this entire time,
I've
and
been
two,
watching
it
your
was to
videos on it.
silence Jamie Heath.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird. Like as a woman, I would never ever demand the compel make the court compel these people to send me this stuff, and she doesn't even know whether or not the video that was produced is or is not the video.
Yeah.
So it's like that's
And
crazy.
are they gonna fight it and say like it's on his phone. That's why we can get it. Like technically we're getting it from him and his phone. Like I wonder if that's like a little loophole they'll try to use. But who walks around with the whole entire video on your like
That's what
birthday takes a long
a
time.
long time. That's what I said. Do you think he's walking around with a hard drive in his back pocket and then
Yeah.
plugging into his phone and then finding
Yeah.
the one file folder that looks the most like
And if
I
there
just
were caregivers, like doctors or any medical profession who is helping along, there's so many laws protecting Natasha.
yeah.
Like, if there's a doctor there, like Cassidy O'Connell said, like even just taking like her blood pressure during that birthing, or just whatever, checking on her medically, like that's privilege. Like you cannot, it's protected. You know,
Mhm.
like you cannot by law access it. There's like HIPAA rights here, and there's like all sorts of rights, and the like. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't get it, and it's
Bizarre.
very frustrating because it's the most sacred and it
Yeah.
can be intrusive, obviously, if people are watching it, and it's just the most precious thing, the most intimate, painful, but like personal experience a woman can go through. And I just think it's so weird because Blake Lively herself hasn't even let us seen any of her communications, any of her text messages, any of anything. Not one
Yeah.
shred of anything, and yet she's fighting for this. And I just think, well, it's just so it's very strange because it doesn't prove anything. Even at the end of
Nothing.
the day, if she finds the 3 seconds she thinks she saw and it is Natasha Heath, with her legs open in water still with a baby,
Yeah.
um, it still is the context of this of how it happened and why it happened and what happened afterwards. And she
Yeah.
knew in that moment that it wasn't pornography. She knew
No,
in that
she knows.
moment that it was a
Yeah.
birthing video. And that's in her CRD and in the Wayfarer complaint. Like
Yeah.
they all agreed in the moment that she knew what it was. So to be fighting this so hard, I think is just to violate Natasha
Yeah.
Heath and
Yeah.
Jamie Heath some more. Because
Did you
what's the point?
did you see that the when she goes on stand at the Variety when Salma Hayek introduces her and she does that whole very emotional
Yeah.
spiel, right? And then there's that one part where she actually it's so disturbing where she talks about babies with umbilical cords. And I'm like, as in, I don't know if I can even say these words, but like child, you know,
Yeah.
porn stuff, but and pedo stuff. Like the fact that you referenced that in that speech, you were clearly like the way you were so emotional, like saying like that's so wrong and this is like pedo stuff. So then, but then you're basically asking to see a baby in an umbilical cord yourself.
And
Like
one that
to me,
she's claiming has schmexual undertones to it, which is like what
how?
mother would want to give a woman all of this footage that she's claiming was done in this kind of way. Oh, it just grosses me out. I hope
Yeah,
Natasha Heath fights, but or maybe they won't, because at this point they're just like they here take whatever you want. You can't prove your case. You can't prove your case.
yeah.
It
Well,
is what
somebody
it is. But
have you looked at Natasha Heath's Instagram page and she has like a video there of like part of the birthing stuff? Have you seen it? Yeah, people were
yeah.
sending me that. And I'm like, I wonder if like Blake's team will try to use that as like, well, she has that up. So like, like as their reasoning. I
But
don't
Jamie Heath has that video, the 3 minute video that he's talking about that is on his phone, is on his Instagram too.
know.
And it starts with the baby on the mother's chest and Jamie Heath's under Natasha Heath. And I feel like during creative discussions, that's what they were trying to achieve was that like skin to skin contact, the first skin to skin contact that you get.
Yeah.
And because in Blake's CRD, she says that they were trying to pressure her to simulate being nude, which means simulate is just you can just act like it's your chest, but you would probably be covered from here to here.
Mhm.
And even that, it sounds like she's saying they were pressuring her to be nude, but if you really read it, it says to simulate nude. So it's not even what she's saying. And I
Yeah.
think that's what they wanted was that first opening shot of the baby because when you
Yeah.
watch It Ends With Us, she has the hospital gown on. And it would make sense because mothers don't have hospital gowns on. They have the skin to skin. That's a very
Yeah.
important moment for
Yeah.
mothers with their baby.
Hmm.
And it would be strange that she wouldn't want that. As a mother of four, why
Yeah.
would you argue the simulated nude? And it could have been done where you don't even see. I mean, it's movie magic,
Anything.
right? It's just
Yeah.
simulated. And that's the opening shot that I think that they were trying to get and show Blake Lively. She should already know what that is, though, because she's
She
a
knows.
mom. And I
She knows.
find it hard to believe that she was hired, paid $2 million to do a birthing scene. She was acting in a birthing scene, fully covered, still claiming that she was uncomfortable, all of this
Yeah.
stuff. But then you're okay to go watch a full woman's other birth. It,
Mhm.
it's the
That's what it
hypocrisy just never ends. Like it never
constantly, it never
ends.
ends. No, no. And I think she thinks she can just keep relying on her PR stuff to spin things and change the SEO of stuff. And I mean, they do it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I
when
don't
she
understand
started
it.
posting about that Covenant House last, I couldn't. I was like,
Have you read
oh,
about Covenant House? It's so
I'm
disturbing,
just
the past that
starting
they
to
have.
read about it, and it's very disturbing. So, out of all of the places that she chose, you chose something to do with human trafficking, and
Yep.
they're a house for
As
18 to 24-year-olds,
yeah.
and that's who you choose on the same day. Be Better put out his video. Knowing that your name is coming out in the Epstein files is crazy work. Like it's
It's
just
crazy. It's crazy. Like you're trying to make yourself look like you're helping youth and trafficked kids, but the organization itself was doing the most shady things, including shady loans, shady financial stuff that was going on. Um, but the thing that struck me the most when I went down, like reading about Covenant House, the priest who was alleged to do all these things just got away with it. They never charged him with anything.
no
The
way.
district of Manhattan never charged him, but there was so much like backlash that he finally resigned and then just like lived the rest of his life and passed away. What?
Oh my gosh,
So people
I'm
just
just
get
going
away with
down.
it.
Yeah, I'm just going down this rabbit hole now, and oh, that's so
How do
crazy.
they not go
Just out
after
of all
him?
the places she could have chose to pick,
Chosen. Yeah.
why that one? And it's
Yeah.
kind of like a mockery in your face because Ryan Reynolds tends to Easter egg drop, but
Yeah.
he literally just mocks people all the time. Like he's just, it's beyond gaslighting. It's literally in your face mocking, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like a part of me wants to think that like someone in her PR and someone in her team hates her so much that they were like, just do this and it backfired. I don't know. Like, because there's so many things that she does incorrectly that come out incorrectly that backfire on her or make her look like she's telling on herself, that I'm like, does she even realize what is being put out, or does she just blindly trust her team and they're, you know what I mean? Did she take
Yeah,
somebody off?
definitely. There is still a part of me, I mean, it's a smaller part now than at the beginning, that thought that Ryan Reynolds was a very controlling, may slightly maybe abusive to Blake Lively, and she was kind of a victim in this. But as
Yeah.
it keeps going on by her own actions, like she's not making it any better. But when I heard Salma Hayek speak, I think it was on your video. I've seen that interview, that thing before, the panel.
Uh-huh.
But when she was saying, I met Blake Lively when she was very, 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 very young, and then we worked together when she was just very, very young or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
that got me thinking a lot too. Again,
Mm-hmm.
Selma Hayek, Balenciaga, child
Mm-hmm.
exploitation. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Blake Lively was passed around in the Epstein rooms and the Jeffrey Harvey Weinstein rooms, and that's how she got her foot in the door. I wouldn't be surprised if they passed along this young,
In your
blonde,
opinion. Yeah.
tall gossip girl.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
how she got the roles that she did, because she said, you know, her dad bought her the roles.
Yeah.
Um,
Did
but
you
then at
see?
some point you have to stop being a victim and choose your own life. So
Yeah,
even if Ryan
absolutely.
Reynolds is her handler, she's still making all of these decisions now on her own admission, by her own admission.
Have you seen that story that popped up a couple days ago when all this Epstein stuff is coming up with allegedly, or I'm pretty okay, allegedly Epstein was trying to get Paris Hilton when she was 19?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw
So it's
that.
kind of like if you think about the type, like they saw her, they were like she would be perfect, like the way she looks, her age, and everything. And if you think about it, Blake Lively, similar
Oh,
type,
totally.
you know?
Totally. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's why I think for the long time Blake was the ball buster, the jokey joke, the like guy's girl, the
yeah,
cool girl, the over sexual, over, and from anyone that's had trauma, childhood trauma, any kind of things happen to them, that
yeah,
is a way that you express yourself for a long time as a woman until you
yeah,
heal and then you
yeah,
find new power. And I'm speaking also from personal experience. So I do see that in Blake, but then I'm
yeah.
like, girl, well, if that's what it is, then just fucking snap out of it. You know
Yeah.
what I
Have
mean?
have
Because
you
at some
heard
point,
have you
you
ever
know,
heard of anything about her dad?
I went down that hole like a while ago. I guess her stepdad too is there's like
Oh, the
two,
stepdad too?
like her real dad, and then her stepdad like took their name or something, but I didn't go too far.
Yeah. Yeah, he did take the mom's maiden name. And then I've heard weird, I don't want to really repeat it, but I've heard weird things between her relationship and her dad. And I'll leave it at that. Just because of
Okay.
based on what you just said. Like if some things were to happen to her as a child, as a young girl, and there's
Hmm.
trauma there, I don't know, allegedly,
Yeah,
but it would make sense.
it does. It does definitely make sense,
Yeah.
like in my opinion. But then, yeah, this whole shebangle though, with it ends with us, is like,
It's
there's
so
not
gross.
very many excuses, to be able to act this way. And
Do
then
you
immediately go from this movie and then go do a movie where you're literally in schmeck scenes but with yourself that are far
Yeah.
worse than
Yes.
anything you did and
That
it
was
ends
so
with
weird.
us.
Yeah.
So weird.
So weird. Have you heard of any lawsuits tied to Age of Adeline?
No lawsuits, but I did read some articles about how difficult it was. And I think there's some stuff popping out more about that because yesterday it was in mainstream media, some issues about the
I found a
filmmakers.
lawsuit.
And there was an actual lawsuit.
There is, but the thing is, so there's like 20 does. I'll send it to you
Wow.
because you do a good job, like deep diving and dissecting. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I,
Send
I,
it.
I found it and I was like, oh my god! But like sometimes I don't have time to read everything, and it's a lot. It's a lot. But I'll definitely send it to you. But I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh my god! Like, what is this about? Like, I don't want to say things incorrectly, but it was like something where someone who was involved in making of it, they basically what they were trying to do to Justin and get him kicked out, they did
Hmm.
that to someone in Age of Adeline.
Wow.
And that's what the lawsuit is about. But then there's 20 does. So I don't know who's I'll send it to you. It's
These
wild.
does. Yeah, no, no,
I
send it. I would
know.
love to read it because I know that that movie
Yeah.
got pushed back by years and years. And even how that movie came about is Blake Lively kind of like stalked the filmmakers and stuff to be able to sign on to that movie and then literally like terrorized it, changed it, had all of the same stipulations like with the edit
It's
and stuff, so it didn't
crazy.
turn out and just wild things. I mean.
It's
She's
crazy.
yeah, I mean, regardless of her past or what may have happened, you at this point, like when you're close to 40 and over as a woman, you have a decision of the type of woman you want to become and who you're going to
Absolutely.
be and how you're going to heal. And you can't keep blaming other
Yeah.
people for, these kinds of mishaps. And she's been a terror on this set since the
Yeah.
beginning. I can't believe she was even
Yeah.
able to finish the movie. I mean, Sony, what were they thinking? I would have kicked her off I would have just, if I was Justin Baldoni and Wayfair, I would have stopped the first day Ryan Reynolds screamed at me, it would have been done, Bye, see you.
And there all the time on set. Like
Yeah.
that's wild to me. That's
And
how
their wives were on
uncomfortable.
set. Emily Baldoni was on set all the time. She was cast in the movie. She
Yeah.
was in the scenes that Blake Lively is claiming that she was so uncomfortable in. It's like, what?
She's something else, man. Um,
Yeah.
I wanted to try to open up. I don't know if my chat is open or not. I was trying to see if there were like I'm still learning how to use this app where I use it to have two people on YouTube at the same time. This is my second time using it. And the last time I had a chat going and it says I have 91 uh, messages, but I don't see them. Do you see them on your end?
No, I don't see any either. Oh, that's oh,
I know, because I would want to like talk to people and answer questions. Oh, I opened it. Can you see it on your end?
no. But
Okay.
hello, everybody.
Let's see. Maybe I can scroll through and like we can, because I know you have a hard time ending. So like maybe we can
Yeah,
answer a couple
I can
things or
go
look at.
to maybe 10 more minutes and then I have a
Okay.
hard out.
Okay. Let's say, in my opinion, Sony kept Blake only because of Orange Popsicle. I call him Orange Popsicle
Yeah.
because of Ryan.
Big Bird and
Um,
Orange Popsicle.
Think Bird and Orange Popsicle. Uh, Justin said okay. Justin said sexy, and Blake said ballbuster. And Blake suing Justin. It should be the other way around, especially with the unscripted kisses, grabbing her co-star in simple favor by his cojones. Yeah,
Yeah, also for someone who ends every single text with hug and kiss to make such a big deal about hugging on set,
yeah.
bitch, BITCH, you put it literally in your text signature. What are you talking about? Hugs and kisses, but like no one can hug around you. Like, oh my gosh.
And she's very touchy feely. I feel like even when you watch her interviews, she's always like grabbing people and like.
Look at the way she treated Brandon Sklenar. I say that's
Did
toxic
you
workplace
see?
environment and sexual harassment. I mean,
Yeah.
she was flaunting this man off. I mean, she couldn't flaunt
Hmm.
Justin anymore. So she used Brandon Sklenar as
Hmm.
like some sex toy, like getting him to turn around and say that line over and over about that restaurant. Like, what have you decided? Whatever that stupid cheesy
Yeah.
line is. It's like, oh, you're okay touching and feeling him and doing all this stuff, but Justin Baldoni, oh my gosh, what a monster.
And then that did you see how like they were on stage with their jeans with the flower patches and she makes him like turn around and show off his butt and all that
Mhm.
stuff and I'm like, what? Like
It's so weird. It's so
it's
weird.
so weird. Let me see. The scrolling on this is kind of slow. Okay. Let's see. Karma will come back to Blake and Ryan. We just need patience. Um, I remember that movie. She looks like a woman who has seen a lot of corn. I'm assuming we're talking about Blake. Um, Blake was practically in a corn in certain scenes of Savages, super sketchy. And I would have been uncomfortable if I were her. I don't think she complained about that movie. Very good point. Let's see. There's so much we missed. I'm
She
so
learned
sorry,
to
you guys.
rewrite she learned to rewrite scenes on that movie with Salma Hayek. There's
Is that
a
where it started?
Yeah, so Salma Hayek did this big interview for I think the Writers Guild or ACTRA or one of the union, and she talks about being on that set. Salma Hayek
Okay.
herself literally bashes the director of that set, saying he doesn't know how to write for women, his context isn't good, everyone knows that, and he's a real hard ass. Like he has a big attitude when it comes to working with actors. But her and Blake went to him and told them they were rewriting their scenes, and they came back and rewrote them. And sometimes you have to do that with male directors, and that's where I think it all started for Blake
Wow.
Lively. I'll find the interview and I'll send it to you tonight. But
Okay.
yeah, it's a pretty interesting interview with Selma Hayek.
Side note on Salma Hayek, have you seen these conspiracy things where they say she's part of this witch cult or something?
No.
I'll send it to you. A bunch of people sent it to me, and I'm like, what? It's fascinating.
That is fascinating. It
Side
wouldn't
little
shock
side.
me. I there's a part of me still that thinks that this is somehow a humiliation ritual for Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively,
Wow.
to move up the ranks. So I wouldn't put anything past these people.
Yeah. Hollywood can be a very, very dark place.
Yeah.
It's been proven time and time again.
Time and time again. It's
Yeah.
frightening.
Yeah, it's very frightening. And one last thing I want to say is somebody had commented about this whole, why isn't this BeeBetter guy going to the authorities? A, we don't know if he has or not. And then B, they were saying like, oh, if he went to authorities, they're like, I made a comment like maybe he can't trust them. Maybe they're in the pockets of certain people. Like, and this person responded like, no, I have friends who are police officers and they're great. I'm like, I have friends who are police officers who are great too. But we've seen throughout the history of mankind where authoritative figures, including police and other agencies, like
Yeah.
can be bought.
And also, we don't know if it happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago,
Yeah.
what the information he has could
Yeah.
already be, like the time could be up for it. You
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
true.
if you can't just go and say, hey, I think 32 years ago, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively did this, and here's my information. It's kind of like the cop would be like, all right, I'm trying to do the stuff that happened yesterday. Like it's
Yeah.
I don't know. No one knows what the information is, so it's kind of
No.
hard. But through Blake
Frustrating.
Lively's own Instagram admission, I feel
Mhm.
like it has to do with Epstein and human trafficking because that's the only thing that makes sense at
In
this
my opinion,
point.
I definitely think the same thing, but I guess we'll find out at some point or another. But
Yeah.
I guess with this, we'll wrap it up.
It was so nice to chat
Yay!
with you. Oh my gosh, that hour went by
Likewise.
so fast. I'm like,
So
it's only been
fast.
an hour. I'm sure we could have talked for hours and hours and hours, you know?
Yeah. I'm so
Yeah.
glad we finally made it happen. We'll do it again. This was so much fun. I love your takes. Everyone, make sure you follow her on YouTube. I'll put her link below. YouTube, TikTok, and are you on Instagram? Are you an Instagram girly
Yeah,
or
I
no?
just put like little clips on Instagram and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And their handles all going to be the same.
Yeah,
We'll
in
put it.
frame.
Okay. I'll put it in the description.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yay!
Thank you to everyone who watched. And yeah, Lynn, I mean, keep your boot on those people's necks because your deep dives are freaking amazing. I love them.
Thank you.
It was so
Okay, this
nice to
was
talk to
awesome.
you. Okay,
Likewise, babe. I'll
bye.
talk to you soon. Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
babe. See you.
Bye, hon. Bye, everybody. Thank you, guys. I love Mandy too. She's so great. I love watching her stuff. All right, guys. I'll link everything below, and this will be up on YouTube. As well as I'll try to get clips for both of us to post on our other social platforms. But make sure you guys follow her or subscribe to her YouTube and follow her on TikTok. All right, guys. See you guys soon. Bye.